Hello, cold open from Gray here. We have formulated a list of US reproductive rights organizations that you can donate to in the description, and I hope you guys look into it. And if you can, throw in some bucks in that area. So, yeah, um, that's all. I hope you guys tune into the episode. Hello, my name is Gray,
And my name is Crystal.
and this is Bustation Beauties, a supernatural commentary podcast where I, someone who has seen this show several times.
And I, someone who only knows the show through social media, discuss every single episode of Supernatural from start to finish. Also, we are both Asian.
Both Asian, so for today's episode, we will be discussing season 2, episode 13, Houses of the Holy, written by Sarah Gamble, directed by Kim Manners. Well, it sure is. You know what?
What?
Okay. So when we discuss these episodes, we usually leave our opinions at the end. But I want to say forefront that it is so relieving to watch this episode because the entirety of season 2, after like the first episode, has been so off-putting to watch. And like you know, we have been doing once a week recently. So it has been really spaced out. So we're not breezing through it like we used to do in season 1. So like the combination of the fact that we're doing once a week and the fact that the episodes are not particularly good, it's been kind of like, it's been kind of a, I don't know, it's been difficult doing doing a once per week discussion of every episode. So like having this one that is an episode that's like keeps you at the edge of your seat, like very entertaining, is so relieving. So I think that thought will carry throughout my review of this episode, that I'm very relieved that this is here right smack in the middle.
No, literally, I think yesterday my ex-fiance messaged me, I only just now got why you did 2 episodes a week. There's not an interesting episode of Supernatural for like 2 years.
Exactly. And it's like,
but this is one of them. This is one of the interesting ones per 2 years.
Yeah, and we've talked about this several times, but we are, predominantly we're here for Castiel, right? So this episode has a lot of Cass in it, or at least like his absence is so felt and his future presence in the show is so felt that you can't help, like, as a Cass girl, as we call ourselves, be like incredibly excited and emotional over that fact that even here in season 2, where the angel plotline is not yet established or even planned at all, like according to behind the scenes bullshit that we know of, and like Cass was not supposed to show up and stick around and all that shit. Like even here, there's this like gaping wound in the show that is only healed over by his presence. You know what I mean? Like it's just, he is so present in this one, and it
which makes
invigorated me.
Yeah. It's written by Sarah Gamble, and like between this and Faith, it is very clear that, as we know, she's the one who pushed for angels to be in Supernatural the most.
Yeah, she did the one thing, right? Yeah.
Thanks for that. Now please stop being racist.
Well, yeah, that's yeah, I mean, enough preamble. Let's talk about what you know about this episode before going in.
Yeah, so I knew that it was Sam-centric and that there's like a scene where he's surrounded by stone angels and there's a very bright light on him and he looks really good. And I
Yeah.
knew that the monster of the week was the spirit of some priest who was trying to like avenge himself on various sinner people. And I also knew that Sam like pointed past Dean and said, "That's Michael, right?" And also that there's a scene where he's doing a seance in a church and he goes, "Father, I can explain. Actually, I can't," which is very fun. I also, for some reason, thought that his line about hope being the whole point was in this episode, but I guess it is not.
Yeah. That's not in this episode. I think that's a little bit later on. You know what? The only thing that I know about, I mean, of course, like I know all the things that you mentioned,
Yes.
but like it was actually a shock to me when it turned out to be the priest. I was like,
Really?
oh, like I did not remember that at all. Like the entire scene where I know that he summons the priest, and I know there's a
Yeah.
funny scene when he summons the priest, but I didn't know that like it was actually the priest, and it wasn't shocked because like the entire episode is like it is the priest, but
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool. Cool shit. And the thing that I actually remember the most is the fact that at some point Dean says holy, like when he like steps out of the car a little bit later, he says holy, because there's someone in the AMV circle that we move around as AMV makers in Supernatural. There's someone I'll probably reblog it because I think it's really good. There's someone who made Houses of the Holy AMV to the song Houses of the Holy by Led Zeppelin, and I think it's incredibly well made. And there's a scene in the AMV where they put Dean saying holy over like the lyric. Yeah, and I thought that was like, oh, that's super cool. It's smashing. I love this AMV. And like the entire episode I was waiting for Dean to step out of a car and say holy, because
yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm so happy. Can you hear it in my voice? I'm so happy. Literally, I'm so happy that this is a good episode. Who would have thought?
Yeah, like I knew in advance that people liked this one, but the last episode I encountered that people liked was Simon Said.
Yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, Simon
Said.
So
I was like, I don't know about this one, but it was well worth the hype.
I remember when Faith happened and you were like so morose and disappointed and sad and upset and all the negative emotions because like it was so hyped up and then it turned out to be the way it was. And this time it's like, no, the hype is well deserved and everything is fine. I love Supernatural suddenly.
Yeah. I think this is the first time in many weeks that you got a Discord message from me that said I love Supernatural while watching the episode.
Literally.
Instead of I hate Supernatural so much it's unreal.
So we start off with a dance sequence that doesn't exist because I'm still confused as to which episode permits one and doesn't permit one. But I guess like what the hell would they even preview here? Right? Like
I suppose.
This episode is so new. It's so fresh. It doesn't rely on previous lore. It's like you can start the show here.
And you should.
Yeah, you should. The way I'm literally just like, let's just start with the episode where Cass feels relevant and then proceed to season 4. Like that's literally my opinion.
This is the episode that the 8-hour Destiel compilation starts at because it puts in the scene about Dean not believing in angels and then it goes to Labs Rising.
Is that for real?
Yeah.
No. I haven't actually seen the 8-hour Destiel compilation. What I have is the scene pack that's like 12 hours long and it's cut per season. Yeah. So that one starts in Lazarus. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay, let's actually start now. So we start off in Providence, Rhode Island, which I looked up, and it's the most Catholic location in the US.
Wow, really?
So yeah, because I was like, oh my God, this one is about Catholicism. Like, I was like excited because I mean, like, for the uninformed, like, I'm from the Philippines. We're predominantly Catholic. Like, a lot of my culture and upbringing is based on Catholicism. So like, that's like the brand of religion, and specifically like Christianity, that I know of. So like, I'm actually like often confused whenever they bring up Christianity and supernatural, and it's very different from what I have experienced Christianity as. So like, whenever there's a Catholic around, I'm like, OMG, they're just like me for real. But yeah.
There's a Catholic around in every episode, and his name is Sam Winchester.
Literally. He's just like me for real. So we start off in this like this place is like a bit dingy, like dark lit, and this woman who she's wearing like eyeliner, but it's smudged, she's looking a bit haggard. And she's like, I think she was drinking or smoking or something.
She was smoking, yeah.
Yeah, she's smoking, and she's watching television, and as she's, channel surfing, she ends up in a televangelist thing. Which actually, like, you know what? For a long time, I thought televangelist was something that Supernatural invented. Because there's also televangelists later on in like season 9, right? The one who's like, let the angels in, like, let the angels possess you. Like, a lot of televangelists like do that. So at this whole time, I was like, well, weird that they're doing this in Supernatural and portraying religion this way. But like, I've been informed that like in the US, televangelists are a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that sounds horrific. But yeah, this woman is listening to a televangelist that's saying like, you have to see the light, the Lord is with, usual stuff. And then she turns off the TV, but it like turns back on. She gets shocked back to life. And like, everything starts shaking, and like, it's all very, oh my God, what's happening? When suddenly there's a bright light that shines on her face from her doorway. And then her face softens up. She is in awe. What's the term that they used in despair? Like, beatific.
Yeah.
She looked beatific. Yeah. And then, she goes, oh my God. And the teaser ends.
Yeah.
Dun, dun,
And also the whole time the televangelist is still going, and it's like very cool audio.
It's actually very cool. You're right. Like, later on in the episode, at the very end of the episode, there's like also music going on the entire way, and it's like, I think there's like some choices in this episode regarding like what to do with the like sound and music.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty cool.
Right, agreed. Okay, but I guess in terms of choices in this episode, I guess we should mention that they portray her as looking trashy and having bad makeup because she is a sex worker, and like,
oh yeah,
no, I don't like whatever they did with this.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so we go to a psych ward where this woman, Gloria, is, and like, she doesn't have the makeup on anymore, and she's like wearing like very modest looking clothing. So I think I literally joked in my notes that they switched her shoe wear over from the hooker box to the nun's box.
They probably literally did.
That she was literally a sex worker. So like, they literally did switch her footwear over from the hooker box to the nun's box.
That picture haunts me. It literally haunts me.
Yeah. God. So yeah, she's reading a book. I thought it was the Bible, but I don't know if they confirmed that.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So someone comes in and she says, "Good morning, you're not the usual guy." And then it pans over to Sam. And he's in like white hospital scrubs and he looks
Yeah,
like my best friend, my silly little friend.
he
And
looks very like I watched this scene and I was like, oh wow, it's Sam Winchester. Like I
yeah,
don't know what it is, but like it was so vehemently Sam in that scene. And
yeah,
I was like, oh wow, it's him. Because sometimes, you watch and you're like, these are actors acting or whatever.
yes,
But like this one, it transcended into actuality that this is Sam
yeah.
Winchester. And he is wearing white scrubs. Good for him.
Good for him. So he asks about how she's doing, and she says that she knows everyone must think that she is crazy, but she thinks that what she saw was real. Sam asks her for details, and apparently she stabbed a man in the heart because it was God's will. He sent an angel to talk to her. It filled her with a feeling, and the angel said that this man was evil down to his very foundations and that she had to smite him. She says, "I was chosen for redemption." And also that she wasn't given the name of the guy, just that there would be a sign beside his doorway.
Yeah. So we go to the motel and Dean is
It looks like a
this is the
masturbation scene,
introduction.
yes.
Well, no, I didn't think of it like that.
All right.
He's just lying on a bed that's moving. It's like
Yeah, but you
vibrating.
don't know why this bed is moving up and
But like
down yet.
it's not like his like face is not like, scrunched up
Yeah.
a la masturbation scene. It's like he's just lying down.
Yeah.
He's listening to music and this is where we introduce the magic fingers.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
the funniest thing about this scene, did you notice when you look at his phone, it says that he's listening to Kashmir by Led Zeppelin, but the music playing in the background is not Kashmir by Led Zeppelin because they can't afford it.
Man, they never play a Zepp song in the entirety of the show. And like sometimes I wonder, like, would it have been nice if the end of like perhaps like episode 19, season 15, like the last montage was like a Zepp song or something, but
Mhm.
they can't afford it, baby girl. They can't. So we are stuck with running on empty. But yeah,
Yep.
magic fingers is a very present thing. I'm not
Mhm.
even sure if it's that present in Supernatural.
It's present
But
in fan
my god,
fiction.
it is so present in fan fiction. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you have written a fic where magic fingers are involved, this is not like us bashing you. Like, I mean, it's a thing in the show. So like,
Mhm.
Anyway, Sam like comes in and Dean is like, "Oh, you gotta try this," and Sam's like, "Well, no. Also, this is making me so uncomfortable that you're doing this." Uh, but Dean explains that because of the whole bank robbery thing that happened last episode. What was that
Yeah.
last episode?
Yeah.
Man, that was last episode. Okay. So because of what happened back then, like he can't really go out, and do risque stuff. This starts like a thing in the episode where Dean is like asking for quarters every single time Sam shows up on screen. Like literally Sam walks into a motel at any given point and Dean's like, "You got any quarters?" But yeah. There's some exposition, like Sam relays that uh Gloria, the woman we saw earlier, was like, as Dean says it, touched by an angel. And what we learned earlier, that she killed a guy because an angel, blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
Sam
Can
says
I
that the
give
guy.
Dean some points for how many times he calls her a quote-unquote crazy hooker. Because he does it so much, and it made me very angry at him.
I mean, sure, go on.
All right, I'll just give him a misogyny point for that. So he's up to 9 now.
Yeah, but Sam like says that the guy who died is like part of a church and he doesn't have anything wrong with him, blah blah blah. And then Dean like drops his like I love faith line where it's like, you know how many people have killed for religion. Line. And the thing that's going on here is Dean thinks that this is for sure not an angel. But Sam is a bit more, you know, he's holding out for an actual visitation that's happening. At some point, like Dean says, like there's no such thing. And Sam says, there's so much more lore about angels than anything else we've ever hunted. And Dean like makes a joke about like there's so much lore about unicorns too. And Sam goes, wait, unicorns aren't real? And I watched this scene and I was like, this acting is so bad. Like the Sam that manifested in the white scrub scene has disappeared, and it's just Jared Padalecki again, and he's acting kind of terribly here, but it's fine.
Necessarily see that. I think I was just thinking about how Sam was channeling every moment of when Dean told him that Santa wasn't real for this joke.
Exactly. Anyway, Dean says like he's never seen an angel, so he believes in what he can see, and if there's no hard proof, then it must probably not exist. So they go to the guy's apartment, the guy who died, and they look around.
Oh, also during the like angel debate, the camera angles are like extremely tight on Dean's face.
This is like my main note. This is I put it way up my notes because I was like, you have to mention this. But I said like the shooting choices in this episode are so close to Dean's face. They feel so intimate whenever he's talking about the angels. The shots are jumping out of the screen and screaming, this is important. Pay attention. It makes me so fucking
Cass, I miss you.
No, it's just like, this is what I said earlier about how, like, do you think Sarah Gamble was like, one way or another, we're gonna get angels in here, baby? Because like this episode is it's so much. Like if that didn't go that route, this episode is so dramatic for no reason.
So they show up there. And they see next to the door, there's this, like, angel figurine. So Dean goes like, oh, well, there's the sign. It's a sign from up above. And then, he says that he's just making fun of the situation. Take down your Christmas decorations after New Year's, and he is very annoying again. He says, or you might get filleted by a hooker from God. And Sam, completely deadpan, goes, I'm laughing on the inside. I love when he tries to be funny. He's my favorite little boy.
Sam is literally so unfunny. Like, I'm not saying this is his character trait is that he's not like a charismatic person, And so, like, every single time he tries to crack a joke, it's like, well, no wonder you don't have any friends. Baby boy. No wonder you don't have any friends.
No.
That's devastating. I'm so sorry, Sam.
So he starts going into this guy's backyard, and they see a cellar. So Sam's thinking is that he's guilty to his deepest foundations. What Gloria said about the guy might be literal. So they head down into the cellar, and it's this creepy ass place. I feel like people who don't want to be murderers just shouldn't keep things in jars in the cellar, you know? Like, leave that to the kitchen.
For real.
So, and then Sam notices that there's a bunch of, like, scratches on this wall, and then he looks closer, and he pulls out a fingernail stuck in it. Oof.
So
Good.
what's the deal here? Because when they unearth the body, it's on the floor. Why is a
Yes.
fingernail here?
Huh.
Why is it
I
on the
guess-
wall?
Well, I'm guessing it was, like, this person kept somebody, like, locked up in the cellar in, like, various locations
them?
in the cellar. Yeah. I mean, I think they call him a world-class perv or something at some point, right? So I think the assumption is that he kept them there to rape them. Yeah, and I guess, I don't know, I guess the person was in various places trying to get out and eventually died on the floor trapped in that location? I don't know. It's
Or
not
got buried
completely
there.
clear. Yeah, or got buried there. Okay, so, right, so they dig into the wall and they see... Oh, I thought it was only one dead person, but the transcript says it was a pile of skeletons.
Oh.
Like, multiple. Yikes.
Yeah, they mentioned 3 women who
Oh,
were taken
yeah,
from
who
the
went
library
missing.
earlier.
Right. Jeez. Yeah, so, I mean, whoever told Gloria to kill this guy got it. So, we now cut to another apartment that's also dingy, and there's this guy whose name is Zach, who's lying on his bed and drinking a lot. Yeah, I guess we can talk later about the selection process for who's carrying out the murders, but, like, So,
Okay, cool.
So, the same thing that happened to Gloria happens to him. There's shaking, and suddenly there's a bright, blinding light, and then he looks awestruck. And we see him walking down the street calmly until he gets to a house where there's this blinding light besides the doorway. So he goes up to the house, he knocks on the door. Some guy opens up, and Zach says, "Hi, my name is Zach." And this guy says, "Can I help you?" And Zach stabs this guy through the heart. Hell yeah. And then we see that there's a stone angel near the door, like where the light was.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah. We go back to the motel and Dean is just sitting on the bed. He's listening to like the police radio while eyeing the magic fingers machine forlornly. he's truly into it, you know.
Yeah.
Love that. Honestly, if like a Dean ever had like one massage in his life, I think
Yeah.
like I would say 78% of the problems in Supernatural will be solved. Like if he literally
Yeah,
just got
and
like
then-
a hand on his
Yeah.
back and massage it.
Yeah, agreed. And an additional 20% of the problems would be solved if he slept more than 4 hours a night.
Literally. Like, you have to take care of yourself, V. This is why we have issues. But, yeah, Sam comes in and Dean's like, "Do you have any quarters?" And Sam, like, says, "You're like one of those rats that press the pleasure button instead of the food button until it dies." And
Yes.
Dean's like, "I eat." But yeah, it's very,
Yeah.
very brother stuff right
I
now.
love that Sam, just like while he's at a stakeout on a case, is reading like Scientific Digest or something and going like, huh,
Yeah.
that's an interesting study.
Yeah. Do you think he learned about wire mother versus cloth mother?
Oh my god, yes. Well,
He
yeah, that's actually
100%
part of,
learned
that's
about
part of a
that.
lot of psychology textbooks, and we
Yeah.
decided that he was a psych major in college, right? So
Yeah,
he
for
absolutely
sure.
did learn about wire mother and cloth mother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is when it was revealed that there's like a couple students who went missing in the library, so the whole skeletons in the basement checks out. Dean proclaims that the thing with Gloria happened again because there's another guy who's dead and was killed by someone who turned himself in to the police. So they go to that place, and for a moment,
Yeah.
when the sequence where they're like hopping through the fence and shit was happening, I was like, Phil, is this you? Phil Segrisha, have you returned to us? But I was like a bit ambiguous because like I think last episode was also Phil, right? So I was like, no, I don't think it's Phil. But for a moment, I was like, Phil, if you're listening, I do appreciate your love for jump shots, but alas, this is Kim Manners.
Oh, and I will note that it is snowing now, right? Which, have we seen that in Supernatural before?
I actually did not notice that it was snowing, but I
Okay.
think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't even know when this is supposed to take place, but yeah, it's snowing, which is
Hell yeah.
wild. But
I think this is in January or February,
Okay,
which
January.
I have no
would
idea.
It makes sense to have it
Yeah.
snow. Yeah, but they're not wearing any like clothes for the weather. They're just wearing their regular ass shoes.
Yeah.
Dean's in his leather jacket. Sam's in a denim jacket because he's a gay ass little boy. And yeah. Wait, have you seen that post that shows like Jensen Ackles on set wearing that like fur-lined parka? But
No,
it looks,
absolutely
and
not.
he looks like the most 5'2" man you've ever met.
I love that.
And he looks like Dean, like, when he's in the outfit. Anyway, I think that Sam and Dean should both have snow boots and fur-lined parkas.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Okay, let me guess where Rhode Island is. This is something that we do now, where I guess the location. But I think it may be in New England.
Yes.
Am I right? Wow! Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Good job.
So it is cold there because it's way up, right? Okay, I'm so good at this. I thought New England was fake. Speaking of things that I thought were fake, because like the name New England sounds so fucking stupid. So I was like, is this something people made up? And like I remember, I think I was listening to a podcast and they mentioned like New England, and I was like, wait, this is for real? And then I looked it up, and it's like an actual location in the United States. But like it's the same thing as saying like from the South, like it's a general geographic location,
Right?
Instead of like a specific state. So it makes sense that I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Sam is in front of the computer, and he is.
I love my hacker boyfriend.
He is literally hacker boying his way into this computer. And he's like, his brow is furrowed. And he is going like, I wonder what the password is.
Yeah.
He's entering, and it's wrong. And then like a light bulb shines up on his head. And he goes, yeah. And then he enters it, and it's correct. And it's like,
and it's definitely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
For real. I think he tried like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it didn't work out. And he was like, maybe we should add another digit.
Yeah. Because he's so smart. He got a full ride to Stanford.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, what's inside the computer is absolutely atrocious. It's, this guy is a pedophile, and he has been like talking up a 13-year-old, and it's a whole thing.
The entire conversation was about like setting up a time to meet, and these two were supposed to meet today. So like his death prevented this kid from being etc. So This is when Dean's like, oh, it's just good timing, I guess. And he says like some spirits are out for vengeance, but this one seems to be a do-gooder almost. And then Sam goes, like an avenging angel, which is something that we have heard from, what's her name?
Hookman? Lori?
Yeah. Yeah, we heard this from Lori before. Is this like an actual thing in like actual lore? Is there such a thing as an avenging angel?
It's definitely a well-known phrase. I don't know if it's in the actual
Is it for
lore
real?
reading the Bible.
Is it for real, like a common phrase?
I think so. And it's the name of a movie, too. Several movies.
I've never heard of it. I've never heard the phrase avenging angel. So, who knows? I think I should know because,
Of
well,
Catholicism.
I am a resident Catholic, but alas, Sam like insists that like like this is like the most probable thing that it is, because like this person is this like being is sending out people to stop like bad people from doing bad shit. And then Dean sees like a paper on the wall, and then he asks Sam like, what church did that guy go to? And Sam says a church, and Dean's like, this is where the other guy goes to church as well.
Also,
so
the church is called Our Lady of the Angels. Like, hell yeah, dude.
hell yeah. It's such a weird name for a church.
Yeah.
Our Lady of the Angels. Is there like a saint who's like a saint of angels? That sounds pretty redundant.
Yeah.
Let's look up who the Lady of Angels is. Oh, there's multiple Our Lady of the Angels parish churches in the Philippines.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and I'm coming up with a lot of Our Lady of Angels churches.
Okay, sorry for
Nearby,
making
too.
fun of the name Our Lady of Angels. I was literally gonna say like, well, my church is named, but like I feel like that's gonna dox me. So like,
Yeah, do
let's
not do that.
But like, yeah, I mean, some church names are like Our Lady of is a very common church name. Yeah, lots of ladies.
Is the Virgin Mary the lady that in question?
Sometimes, like, God, it's the name of my church though, so I can't say it.
Okay.
But like, for example, like Lady of Fatima, like that's Mama Mary.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you call her Mama Mary?
No, I feel
No.
like
Okay.
yeah, people call her the Virgin Mary or
Mary.
yeah, or Mary,
Yeah.
or I guess the Beatles call her Mother Mary in
Aw.
what is it called? Let It Be.
Oh, really? Well, I guess it's like a...
Well,
That's
yeah,
like
when they
how I
find
prayed as a
themselves in
child.
times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to them.
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
We call
Mama
her
Mary's
Mama
sweet.
Mary, and then I call Jesus Papa Jesus. Like, before that's what I call him. That's how I
That's
was
so
taught to pray as a
Dean-core of
child.
you.
You say, Mama Mary, Papa Jesus, bless my family. Like, that's literally how you pray. You call them Mama and Papa, which is kind of weird, because, like, Jesus
Yeah,
is
because
not your
she's
Papa.
his
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah. Cancelled. Literally
What, canceled for what, implying that there was an Oedipus situation with Jesus
Yes,
himself?
exactly. Freud is turning in his grave.
Freud is
Yes.
jacking off in his grave.
He literally
That's what the
is.
turning is.
Yeah. I think I also say Papa God, which is quite redundant, right? Like he is the
guess.
father, so like, man, well, let's just stick with Mama Mary. That one is everybody calls her Mama Mary.
Yeah. I like Mama Mary. It's like
Yeah,
nice
it's
to feel
sweet,
that
right?
close to that figure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like the whole deal is like the reason why you pray the rosary is because Mama Mary is more likely to listen to you than Jesus, because Jesus is busy. And like when you pray to her, like she will like tell her son, right? Like, hey, this person is praying to me, so you should like answer their prayer. And because that's his mom, like he'll listen.
Oh.
That's literally what we were
Wait,
taught
I
to
love
do.
that.
No, really. Like up
Yeah.
until now, like when I pray, I mostly pray to Mama Mary because like
Mhm.
he's literally gonna listen to her because like I listen to my mom. He's gonna listen
Yeah.
to his mom too.
Yeah.
Love that.
Well, I can
Anyway.
see why Sam's a Catholic.
Yeah, I mean, why? Why? What does that statement mean?
I just think that he would feel a lot of emotional like closure of
Connection to,
sorts
like, a
to
mother
pray to like
figure.
Mama Mary specifically.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he would like, hey, like he would pray towards Mama Mary, and it would be both Mama Mary and also his Mama Mary.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Also, okay, this is the part where Sam calls this guy and Carl Gully world-class pervs, which is like, I don't know, I feel like at this point, people use the word perv to just mean someone who watches hentai, you know? Like, it doesn't have the weight that, like, Sam's attempting to give it here. And I don't see why they can't just say rapist on Supernatural, but I don't know. They
I
don't
don't
want to
think
say a
they
lot of
ever
things directly.
or will ever or have ever said the word rape in Supernatural.
Right.
Maybe that's like too much
Yeah.
on
Maybe.
like network television. So
Yeah. So, Sam and Dean head to the church, and they see a priest. So apparently they're telling him that they're interested in joining the parish, and they're trying to act like they're super into religion. Dean's like, we just don't feel right unless we hit church every Sunday. And he says that they used to live in Fremont, Texas. And the father is like, oh yeah, so you must have gone to St. Teresa's parish and you must know the priest there. And he's like, oh yeah, Father O'Malley. And like the guy's like, I know a Father Shaughnessy. And Dean's like, yeah, exactly, what did I say?
he is
All
so
right.
bad at this. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Dean doesn't even have to say the name. He can just say, like, sure, yeah, I know that guy. Like, yeah.
I have no idea. Like, I don't think I've ever like watched a homily and be like, I know this priest's name. Like, it's never happened unless it's like
Yeah.
a cardinal giving or like the Pope who like comes over and is like, this is my name.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I've ever like considered a priest's name. So like,
Yeah.
is it? I think maybe like in the United States culture, like it's more common to be closer to your.
Maybe, I guess, because if you go to confession or something, you're like, hi, Father, name, I did bad this week.
Oh, you don't say their name. You
You don't?
Yeah, you just hop in and go, hello, Father. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned, and here are my sins. So, yeah.
Okay,
You
then
don't
yeah.
say, I think that's discouraged to, like, know them personally. When you're going to confession. Because it's supposed
That's
to be,
true.
like, a vessel towards God instead of towards the priest.
Interesting. Then yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Did you know, like, when I was younger, like, I confessed to a priest that I was, like, experiencing attraction to women, which is so funny. Literally, like, God.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, I'm sorry that you were in a place where you felt like you had to confess that.
Yeah. Yeah. But in retrospect, it was pretty funny. It was like a class retreat situation too. So it wasn't like this priest was like had time to cater to me.
Oh, right.
So he was just like, okay, let's pass this kids by, and then I was there like confessing, like,
Yeah,
I
Father,
think I
forgive
might
me,
be
for I have
gay."
thought about titties in my mouth.
I have thought about titties in my mouth. Sorry, Father.
Yeah, So Sam cuts in. He's like, we're just happy to be here now, Father. And Dean asks about the neighborhood. And he's like, yeah, no, this neighborhood has sort of gone to shit. And everyone who got murdered were parishioners of mine. And, the killers were misguided souls because God's messenger would never appear and incite people to murder. Dean goes like, oh, so you don't believe in angels, huh? Right? Yeah. And Father Reynolds is like, no, like, I definitely do. And then we have the scene where Sam is pointing to a painting on the wall, but the shot just looks at first like he's pointing at Dean as he says, Father, that's Michael, right? Ah! And then we go
This one is intentional. I think this one is like, they know what they were doing.
Yeah, I think Sarah Gamble had plans afoot.
Yeah.
So, they cut to this. Yeah.
God, like when he says like, what you were gonna say, it's like they cut to like a painting of Michael, and the priest goes
Yes.
like, "That's the Archangel Michael, and his
Michael.
flaming sword," which I thought was so funny.
Michael's sword sure is flaming.
He's a flaming bro.
Yeah.
So
Wait, what's the post? Like, instructions unclear. I got my dick stuck in the Michael sword.
oh yeah, I think that one is like a "So Says the Sword" reference.
Yeah, I
right?
think
like
it
that
is.
Post. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the instructions were literally unclear, and Cass literally got his dick stuck in the flaming Michael sword.
And it sure was a flaming sword.
Yeah, so he says, yeah, that's the Archangel Michael with the flaming sword, fighter of demons, holy force against evil. And Sam, who's trying to push Dean towards his point of view, goes like, so, like, they're fierce, right? So true. Vigilant. So true. Cass, I miss you.
No, and then the father says like, I
Yeah.
I could think of them as loving more than
loving than
wrathful, and I
wrathful.
literally had to pause it and be like, oh,
Cass.
I miss Cass so much.
And also
I miss him
Cass.
so much.
I feel like this is a good, like, Sastiella episode as well as a Destiella episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Like towards the end when they were like discussing, and Sam was like, I
Yeah.
felt- like, you know, like Sam was
Yeah.
losing faith and Dean was having it, and it's like, it's so
Yeah.
it fits them both so much, what was happening in that moment, and it fits like their future relationship with the fact, like it fits so much with the fact that in the future their best friend is gonna be a fucking angel, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, like he says, I like to think of them as more loving than wrathful. Cass! And he says, yeah, a lot of scripture paints angels as God's warrior. He quotes, an angel of the Lord appeared to them, the glory of the Lord shone down upon them, and they were terrified. And we get a good
Hell yeah.
shot where Sam is nodding, and Dean looks super confused. And the father says, Luke 2:9, like, specifically to Dean, and Dean's like, oh yeah, of course, I knew that, Sam should have said Luke 2:9, but at least we can see that he knows where it came from.
Okay, so Sam and Dean and the priest help out, and he's like thanking them, blah blah blah, and then they see a little shrine, I guess, like a collection of things at the footsteps of the church, and they ask the priest what that's all about, and the priest says it's for Father Gregory, who was a priest here, and he got shot because he was like, his car keys were being stolen, and he makes a point of mentioning that like it all happened so fast that he wasn't able to deliver his last rites, so like the last sacrament of like when you're dying, and he says that like ever since he died, I've been praying my heart out for like some deliverance, for the end of like violence and bloodshed around here, for like divine intervention. So Dean like says goodbye to the priest, and then they look at the little memorial site, and they proclaims that, oh, this makes sense. Like, it's the priest then who's doing all these things, and he is the vengeful spirit, and like because he knows everyone who has gone to the church, he probably knows their like deep dark sins as well because of like confession.
Yeah.
So
Do priests really, like, they're not allowed to say anything that was told in confession? Like, this library guy had to be like, I kidnapped 3 women and locked them in my basement, and then they died there. And, like, are you not allowed to go to the police about that?
I think I've asked like this to like a teacher once, and what they said was, no, I think I asked it to a priest actually, and he said, like, you can't tell the police, but what you ought to do is tell the person confessing, like,
Stop it!
no, yeah, basically, like, God will only forgive you if you turn yourself in, or something like that. Like, you can't absolve them of it. Like, you have to, like, because when you go to do you know how confession works?
Yeah, no, you say your sins, and they're like, say 10 Hail Marys, and
Yeah,
then you're good. Is that the
Yeah,
same? Yeah.
yeah. Basically, that's it. So, yeah, say 10 Hail Marys, and also like sometimes when you ask for it, they give you like things to do. And I am like a fucking what do you call it? I'm like that kind of person who, like, I go to confession just to talk to someone. I was very lonely as a child. Like, I'll have you know, I was so lonely. And like, I would literally go to confession just to be like, hey, Father. And then just hang out in the booth. So, like, I remember one time I went to confession, and the priest literally said, yeah, but you do have to tell me, like, a sin that you did, you know? So that was fun. That was truly fascinating.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. But, like, usually they tell you, like, instructions on how to be a better person or something.
Got it.
And, like, one of the things I think that this father said was, like, you have to tell them that, like, I'm not gonna absolve you.
Yeah.
You have to turn yourself in, and then we can talk.
Got it.
But, like, probably you're allowed, right? Like, what's the legal situation here?
I'm sure there's no legal situation. I think it's just
Yeah.
like, you promised
Moral,
you
blah,
wouldn't
blah, blah.
tell because
you
of
promised.
religion.
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause, like,
I do think people should
no,
stick
because,
to
like-
their promise.
Like there's like, you know, like, I cheated on my wife. Like, that's like different from like, I am a murderer. Because like, if you're
Right.
a murderer, you'll probably murder again.
Yeah, well, not necessarily probably, but
No,
this
like,
guy
I mean,
was
like,
probably
the-
like, yeah, I kidnapped a woman and now I'm thinking about another one.
Yeah, like the magnitude of the damage you do to other people is like so much bigger. So
Yeah. Well,
anyway, yeah. So like it makes sense because like the father, like Father Reynolds, starts praying 2 months ago, and then all the deaths start happening after that. So it all makes sense. And then Dean says like, I'm a bit of a skeptic, but since when are you all Mr. 700 Club? What does that mean?
apparently the 700 Club is like a televangelist, like, news channel, basically.
Okay. So like, okay, got it. And like Dean is like, why are you so willing to get on with this angel crap? What's next? Are you going to start praying every day? And Sam says, I do.
And I literally
I do pray-
pause the episode and I scream and rock back and forth in my chair and wave my hands around and scream.
Yeah. And he says, like, I do pray every day. I have for a very long time. Hell yeah.
God.
And then Dean says,
God.
like, oh, the things you learned about a guy, huh? And then they go check out, like, Father Gregory's
What do you think
grave.
Sam's prayers look like? Like, do you think he, like, asks for things like, please don't make me a warrior for hell? Or is it, like, more general?
I think he, like, I don't fucking know. I think, because, like, for me, like, the format of my prayers is, what did my parents teach me to pray when I was young? And that's literally it, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, he didn't have that.
Right.
Like, nobody, I don't think anybody, like, sat down and was like, this is how you pray.
Well, there was
So, like, who
Father
even
Jim
knows?
or whatever his name, Pastor
Oh, yeah.
Jim.
Pastor Jim probably taught him how to pray. But, like, there's, like, a format in prayer where it's, like, first you say, God, you're so good, blah, 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 and then you thank him, and then you ask for things. No, you thank him, then you ask for forgiveness, and then you ask for things. Like, like, that's the format. So, like,
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe he follows that. He's like,
probably.
God, you're so... We're buddies, right? And then
God,
he
you're
goes
so
like,
pog.
You're so poggers, God. Forgive me for being truly fainted and a terrible person and truly a misery to humankind. And then he goes, thank you for giving me an amazing girlfriend, though. I mean, she died, but we were together for a while, and the pussy was great. And then he goes back to the apology. He was like, sorry for the premarital sex, though. he's just going back and forth.
Yeah. No, he
Yeah.
does seem like the type to go back and forth. Like, every time he gets to another section, he comes up with a new thing to apologize for.
He literally will come up for like 100 things to apologize for. And then he ends it with, what I was taught when I was a kid was you go bless, and then you say like a family member. So you just go down the list. And so it's like, bless mama, bless papa. So like,
Yeah.
I
really
do
only has
imagine Sam
Dean.
like literally, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I imagine Sam and he's like, bless Dean, and then that's it. That's so depressing. But like, I like to think that through the years, like that list has grown, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Until
like, bless
he realizes
Cass,
that-
bless Claire.
Yeah. Bless Ellen, bless Joe, bless Bobby. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
oh, yeah,
a
he's
scene
probably
in-
added Ellen and Bobby to the list already. And
Yeah.
Joe and Ash.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a scene in season 11 once where he like prays on the floor, like he's kneeling on the floor beside his bed, and then Dean walks by and makes fun of him, and I remember watching that the first time and sobbing. Like, I was crying so hard. I was like, Dean is so mean. He is such a terrible person for making fun of Sam for praying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly, yeah.
And he is. He's not allowed to make fun
He
of Sam
literally
for
is.
praying.
He literally is. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they come in, and Sam and Dean like separate inside the what do you call this? Is this a crypt? What is this?
Yeah.
It's inside the church, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, like Sam is like looking around, and then he sees this angel, and he looks at it, and it starts shaking, but it looks so bad.
Yeah.
Like, they green screen the hell out of this one, and it's very obvious. And then he turns around. There's a light behind him. He turns around, and he looks beatifically at the light.
Oh, I love him.
And he looks beatific. He looks beautiful.
Yeah. Because his hair is like all curly and framing his face
Yeah.
just right.
He is literally, I don't know, he's slaying.
Yeah, he is. Thank you, Sam. Okay, I think it's okay, I do like that Sam was chosen specifically because the priest thought that Sam needed redemption.
I
Or-
know.
Like, that
What?
makes me insane in the membrane. It's so good.
Yeah, because it's like, the I think, like, did the priest, was the priest like, oh, this man has demon blood? Like, what did he see in Sam?
Yeah, how did he... Yeah, I want to know. I guess...
Like,
right.
no, because
everyone-
like the other one, right, was like, he
Yeah.
hasn't done anything wrong yet, but he will. So like, this
Right,
priest has
so he
like
can read
premonition,
minds.
not minds,
Oh,
but like
yeah, or...
fate,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
So like the fact that he was like, this man is gonna do horrible things. It's like, yeah, that's
He's not, though. He's just gonna be really sexy for a season.
he's gonna bulk up. That's all he's gonna do. He's gonna be a hunk. So I guess building muscle mass is a sin.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, so he somehow saw that. I guess maybe he saw the path where Sam becomes Lucifer's vessel or something, maybe.
But like at that point, would you be like, you know what's gonna solve this person? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you see someone and they're like Lucifer's vessel, you're like, nah, I'm out. Let's step out. Like, I'll just go to the other guy who actually has killed, people probably.
Yeah, that's
Has
true.
Dean killed
Yeah.
a person at this point?
Huh.
I mean, like, what is a person? Then, like,
yeah,
questions
because
like
he's
that.
definitely he's killed the like people in Croatoan who, I like after a few hours would have disappeared or like been cured.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Should we go for the misogynist or should we go for this guy who might become the vessel of Lucifer? I think
Yeah,
we should I think we should like work on the misogynist first.
Right, because the thing is, I mean, yeah, you see the other people, and I think their main thing, like, I don't know, the main thing you see with them is addiction, I think, in that you see the
Yeah.
first woman smoking and the second man drinking. And
Yeah.
perhaps he's
Think it was the
foreseeing
demon
Sam's
blood?
addiction to
Yeah.
demon blood.
That is so true. But like what did he Yeah, that's so true. You're right. Maybe that's it.
Maybe that is it. But yeah, I would say that at first go, Dean seems like more the type of person that this priest is going for.
But maybe the priest was like, Dean's never gonna believe me.
Yeah, Dean's
so-
not gonna do it. He'll just be like, sure, buddy, nah.
Nah, yeah.
Alright, so do you think he was going for people who had some amount of faith then? Because we see Gloria and she scoffs at the televangelist on TV. Like, she doesn't seem like someone who's particularly susceptible to believing in angels.
Yeah. I mean, that's true, but like, I
But
feel like
also, okay, her name
everyone
is...
scoffs
yeah,
at televangelists.
That's
like,
true.
I mean, yeah, like, they
And
seem
also-
like absolutely atrocious people.
Yeah, that is very, very true. Also, her name is Gloria, which makes me think
Yeah.
she was probably raised religious. So,
Yeah.
they probably just tapped into that part of her. So, Dean goes back into the crypt, and he sees that Sam is passed out on the floor. Yes, I love my
Hell yeah.
low iron baby girl.
He literally is a low iron baby girl.
Yeah. So he shakes Sam awake and asks if he's okay. And Sam, who, like, I don't know, looks like he has this new purpose in life, goes like, yeah, I'm okay. And, like, they go out of the room and Dean asks, and Sam says, like, yeah, Dean, I saw an angel. And Dean pulls out a flask. Is this, how many times, have we seen this flask before?
Well, we have seen a flask before
Okay,
with
right.
Bobby.
Yes. Oh yeah, did Dean
So-
keep the flask that Bobby gave him?
I mean,
It's a good flask, probably.
Yeah. Okay, I hope it's Bobby's flask. That's kind of sweet.
You know, I have considered buying a flask because of Supernatural.
Of course you have.
My God. Yeah, I mean, I've told you this, but I'm considering buying a Zippo.
Yes.
It's just, I don't smoke, so what the fuck will I use it for?
Lighting shit on
Arson?
fire.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
If you think I should buy a Zippo,
you should donate to our
Message us.
coffee so Gray can do that.
donate to our coffee with like the message, Gray should buy a Zippo. And if enough people give us money, I would buy a Zippo. Don't fucking do it. Like,
Don't.
we're just joking.
You have better
Your
things
money
to do with
should
your
go
money.
to better avenues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Dean pulls out a flask and hands it to Sam. And Sam goes like, I don't want to drink. Like,
It was kind of a funny scene because like Sam was like, I don't want to drink, and Dean was like, okay, and then just immediately, like, no hesitation, takes a fucking sip.
yeah.
I'm like, go boy.
Uh-huh. So Dean goes like, what makes you think you saw an angel? And Sam says, it appeared before me and this feeling washed over me, like peace, like grace. And Sam calls him, or sorry, and no, and Dean calls him Ecstasy Boy.
You know what? I only got this now. Like when he said it,
It's a good
during
pun.
during the episode, I was like, ecstasy boy, and I was like, well, he's experiencing ecstasy, so
Yeah.
and he's a boy, so
Yeah.
ecstasy boy. Yeah. Now I'm like, he's talking about drugs.
Yeah, he's talking about drugs.
I literally did not understand it all. So like when he said like the whole like Dr. Seuss hat and the glow sticks, I was like, I don't fucking know what you're talking about.
Do you think Dean has been in a Dr. Seuss hat while on ecstasy?
I don't even know what the Dr. Seuss hat like entails. What does that mean?
I was just assuming the Cat in the hat.
Never heard of Cat in the Hat.
Oh, it's like a Dr. Seuss book. There's a cat
Yeah.
that is drawn badly, and he has like this. It's like a top hat, but it's like striped or something. Yeah.
I mean, I know what it looks like probably. The only Dr. Seuss thing I know is the ham and eggs one,
Oh yeah.
or the one with like Sam in it. Is that there's
Oh,
like
Sam
one
I
with like the
am. Yeah, like I'm
Yeah,
Sam
yeah.
I am, and I don't like green eggs and ham.
yeah.
This is literally, he is Sam I am. He doesn't like green eggs and ham because he is a vegetarian / vegan.
He is literally vegetarian / vegan / gay, according to Supernatural. You know, a thought I had once was like, even chicken in Supernatural is like considered gay.
Yeah,
You know
it
what I
has
mean?
to be
Like-
beef.
like every time I think about it, it's like, has Dean ever eaten a chicken that isn't like fried? Like, has he ever eaten like a chicken breast that's like just seasoned? You know?
Yeah, or grilled.
And like, yeah, a grilled chicken breast. And like, I don't think it has ever happened. Because Supernatural
Yeah.
thinks that eating chicken,
Yeah.
like, aside from
The only
fried chicken,
chick
is
Dean
gay.
will eat is human.
Yeah, literally, like, it's straight if you're eating fried chicken and no other situation is chicken allowed inside your mouth. Because it's
Oh, because
literally
a
cock.
chicken-
I'm
because-
sorry, you guys.
Because a chicken is behold a man.
No, because it's literally cock.
Yeah. That's good.
So,
It literally
so-
is cock.
yeah.
So,
So by
Yeah.
this definition, Sam is gay because I think he has eaten a chicken salad.
yeah, definitely. He's such a chicken salad boy. So, Sam tells... Yeah, no, Sam is the type to go to McDonald's and order, like, the salad and tell them to, like, not put the dressing in it.
That is
So-
true.
Yeah. Well, the
But
dressing is separate
I also
anyway.
think that Sam, when he was younger, is the type of kid who would go to McDonald's and order like like the sundae and like
Uh-huh.
fries and then eat them together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he would dip
like
them
he would
in.
like dip it. Yeah, exactly. He is definitely that kid. And Dean would always be like grumble in the side because it's like double the cost. I'm like,
Yeah.
why do you need sundae? Why can't
Yeah.
you just eat your fries?
Right, like the ketchup is free, Sammy. And Sam's like, this
Yeah.
is your fault. You broke my taste buds by cooking me hot dog pasta.
It's not. It's neither of their
I
fault.
know it's neither of their fault. It's John's fault.
Literally, John Winchester should be blamed for every single thing wrong with these fuckers. But yeah.
Right. So Sam tells Dean, like, I'm serious. It spoke to me. It knew who I was. I wonder if this, like, if the spirit literally brought up the, like, Azazel stuff when it spoke to Sam.
What do you think? Yeah, what do you think the priest said? Like,
Yeah. 'Cause,
You're
like, it
Sam
knew
Winchester.
who I was. Like, I mean, that could just be, like, him knowing his name. But also,
yeah,
like...
Sam Winchester. The boy with the redacted, because this is a spoiler.
Yeah.
And then Sam's like, what the fuck does that mean? And then, like, the priest is like, well, you are in a TV show, but don't even think about it.
Yeah. So... Dean tells Sam, like, it's just a spirit. They can read minds sometimes. Let me guess. You were personally chosen to smite some sinner, and you have to wait for some divine bat signal. Dean wants to be Batman so bad, and Jensen Ackles stole that from him. Sam says, yeah, actually. And Dean asks, and I guess you didn't even ask what this guy did. And Sam goes like, actually, I did, Dean. Ugh, I love him. I love my lawyer boy. He says, the angel told me that he hasn't done anything yet, but he will. And Dean's being all skeptical, and Sam says, like, this guy hasn't been wrong yet. Like, someone's gonna do something awful, and I can stop it. And then Dean says, you know, you're supposed to be bad too. Maybe I should just stop you right now. And I pause and start screaming and screaming and screaming.
Do you think this is a low blow?
Yes. I also think that Dean's trying to snap Sam out of it by being like this is, like, ridiculous, like, this, like, logic that you're operating off of. Like, Sam wouldn't be against Dean killing him if he was gonna do something bad. Like, Dean, he asked you to do it already.
No, yeah, exactly. Like, Sam would be willing for you to kill him, so...
Yeah, Sam would be like,
This
what
kind
a
of-
good point, Dean! Like, so true! Oh. Yeah. Jesus. And Sam goes like, I don't understand. Why can't you even consider the possibility? Dean goes like, what, that this is an angel? And Sam goes like, yes, maybe we're hunting an angel here, and we should stop. Maybe this is God's will. And I guess the funny thing about this is, you know, in any other situation, if you ran into a case and Sam, like, saw that, like, there was a rapist, he wouldn't be like, let's go stab that guy. So, like, he's only okay with the murders happening because, like, it was God's will or whatever.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah. I guess maybe he's assuming that God knows that stabbing's the only way to stop the situation.
Yeah, sure.
But I don't know, man. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Also, I think this is the screenshot that I sent you, where Sam is, like, looking up at Dean with, like, the most puppy dog sad eyes.
He literally, like, I don't know, something about, like, his hair and his outfit, like, everything
And the
about him this
lighting.
episode. Yeah, like, every time, like, a light hits his face, it's like, he's just a little boy.
Yeah.
He's just 23 years old.
Yeah, he's... Oh, wait, let me do some multiplication. Yeah. Oh, he's only 276 months old.
Good
You
for
know, when
him.
people talk about babies and their
Yeah,
months age.
He's 200 plus months old.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, his speech is getting pretty well developed. He walks pretty well. Like...
Yeah. He can
Oh,
do,
you
like,
know that K-pop tweet that's like, he's teething.
Literally
Soul
so Winchester
replies,
in
like,
this episode.
He is literally 25 years old, and then the original person who posted the picture of the K-pop guy is like, well, maybe I just have something wrong with my head. Have you considered that?
He literally, like you can show K-pop stans a picture of Sam in this episode, and they would be like, he's in his first life. Yeah. He literally is in his first life.
I just... Because Sam has gone through a lot. And I think he
hell
really
yeah.
needs a purpose. And he wants to believe very badly. And now he has this, and he's like, okay.
I'm solved, yeah.
Yeah, I'm absolved. Like, I don't have to do this. Maybe it's good if I stab this person, I get locked up, because then I can't do anything bad. And then I'll, like, die in this ward and go to heaven. Like, God, Sam.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. So, Dean says, like, okay, you know what? I get it. You've got faith. Good for you. I'm sure it makes things easier. Girl, it does not. Have you seen Sam?
Sam is proof that, like, no, I'm not gonna continue that joke. I was gonna say, like, he's proof that, like, Catholic people are more miserable, like, than, like, the average. But that's a bad joke to make, I feel like.
Maybe. But, I mean,
It's true.
we literally have this empirical evidence with a sample size of 1 right here in front of us.
Yeah.
Like,
Literally.
from this real, actual man who's not a fictional character. So, yeah. And then Dean says, I'll tell you who else had faith like that. Mom. She used to tell me when she tucked me in that angels were watching over us. In fact, that was the last thing she ever said to me.
How does he even remember? Like,
First,
I mean, I
that
get it
makes
was, like,
no
a very
fucking sense. He was
traumatic...
4.
It was a very traumatic experience. He probably remembers it because of that. But, like, how do you remember any detail about anything when you were 4?
I think people rewrite their toddler memories a lot. I think that
That's
he
true.
probably rewrote it. Like, I think Mary's definitely said it to him before, but it wasn't the last thing she ever said. But I do like viewing this as canon, that was actually what happened. And maybe, like, I'd say that's probably what she told Sam, too, before she tucked him in. Though I guess the last
I
thing
think
she ever
we
said
saw
to
it.
Sam was, ah! So,
I think the last thing she ever said to Sam was, like, good night, Sammy.
aw.
Like, she gives him a kiss.
Yeah.
And it's like, good night, Sammy.
Hmm.
I didn't make the... You know what? When I said she gave him a kiss, like, I bent down and, like, pretended I was giving a baby a kiss. And I think you can hear it in the mic. Like, I went... So,
Aw.
yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Love that. I guess the interesting thing about that is, like, season 12 Mary, when she comes back, I don't really see her as being the type of person to say that.
Angels are watching over you?
Yeah.
Well...
She doesn't really give much indication of faith when she comes back. Like, just
That's a
like, that's
very-
Cass and that's an angel? The fuck? Alright.
I think it's, like, a very different situation, right?
That's
Like-
true. She has just been in heaven and it sucked. And now she is back.
And also, she was a hunter. Like, it's not that far-fetched to be a hunter and be like, and now here's an angel.
That's
And you're like, ah, fuck.
Yeah, and I guess her being a hunter is like, yeah, she probably meant like, I literally believe there are literal angel creatures, like there are demon creatures out there and they're watching over you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam's just like her for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dean continues like there's nothing to tell, and then he goes on a whole rant about like there's just chaos and violence, etc., etc. And then he says a line that I really like because I've used it in an AMV. He says like you want me to believe in this stuff? I'm going to need to see some hard proof. You got any? Which,
well,
I watched this episode. Well, I didn't watch it. Like, I scrubbed it because I was looking for like something to put at the beginning of. Because do you remember that one AMV? You know what I'm talking about, or not really?
which song?
The Umaapa one.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's at the very beginning, right? And like what I literally did when I was making that was I sat down. I was like, I need to put an intro here, but I don't know what intro to put. So I'm just going to sit down and go to Houses of the Holy and scroll through the entire conversation about angels and see if I can find anything.
Yes.
And then like I like got to this line. It's like, I'm gonna need to see some hard proof. You got any?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh. Cause like, it's like you want me to believe it. I've told you this, right? But like, I hate it when people take like early season stuff and be like, "This is about Destiel," actually. But I'm gonna do it right now.
Yeah.
Which is that, like, I don't know. It's just the like you look at this Dean, right? And it's like you would never think that his story, his like love life,
Yes.
would go the way it would.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
this is like, I mean, every single time we talk about an episode, I feel like we relate it somehow to how the show ends, or like something that happens in the future, or whatever. But this is like the first episode in the entire show where I was like, oh, this hits because of the context of everything else that happens. Like, otherwise this wouldn't really be like such a big deal.
Yeah.
But because I know that like in a couple seasons he's gonna meet an angel, and then that's gonna be like a whole thing. It's like, oh wow. I guess love is real.
Yeah.
And love is love.
All orientations, all choices.
Literally, all orientations. When love happens.
Oh my god.
What was that? When love happens. I don't even fucking know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I probably used to be able to quote that. Yeah. Oh, also, yeah. I think we briefly mentioned that after Dean like tells Sam this, Sam goes like, "You never told me that," and
Yeah.
I don't know. This was because like Sam doesn't remember Mary, so like I don't. It
Yeah.
must feel nice that like he has this connection to her that he didn't even know was a connection to her. Like it must feel nice to know that there's like a part of her that's in him.
Because he has faith.
Yeah, because he has faith. So
Yeah.
yeah. But also, I don't know. I wonder. Oh yeah, I think during this scene I realized that the only person like left alive on this earth who knows anything about Mary is Dean, because John's dead and her family is like just not around, and they didn't let her have friends. Like Dean is the only like carrier of memories of Mary now, and like yeah, Sam like only has Dean as a source as well. So like yeah, Jesus Christ.
That's so sad. Yeah.
Oh, Yeah, so I don't know. I get why Dean doesn't tell some things to Sam. He probably wants to keep some of these things to himself, but he also probably wants to tell him something so that he isn't the only person who knows anything about Mary left alive on this earth. Yeah. Gosh. Yeah, so Dean says that they have proof that they're dealing with a spirit, and they go to the crypt.
So they go to Father Gregory's tombstone, and it's covered by a plant, creeping vines, and Dean says that this specific kind of vine is a symbol of like an unrest spirit. So the fact that it only grows here in the specific tombstone must mean something. And Dean says, like, let's summon the spirit. And if the seance works, then we'll see the spirit. If it doesn't, then it's a fucking angel. And at some point, Dean says, like, this is the perk of the job. We don't have to operate on faith. We can know for sure. Don't you want to know for sure?
Sam gives the saddest little nod. He looks miserable, and he, like, purses his mouth, and he does a little nod, and he looks literally 200 months old.
At this point, I was still thinking of Cass, because, like, the residue of the angel conversation.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of Cass and Dean, and how, like, I was just, like, applying the line, like, you don't have to operate on faith. You can know for sure. Don't you want to know for sure about this deal? It's, like, making me a little bit, like, dizzy, and you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
this probably doesn't even make any sense, but oh my god, I miss Cass so much. Can we have him?
Yeah.
Can we have him in the show now? I miss
Please.
him so much.
Like, we've done our time. Like, we had to watch Jeffrey Dean Morgan and everything. Like, at this point, we deserve a little treat.
We deserve a little Cass treat.
Cass in my mouth. Please, 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 you're nothing.
You're literally nothing. And I just miss him so much. And, like, the show misses him too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no.
it's like, it's lacking something.
Uh-huh.
It's like it's waiting for him.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how much he is the show, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I know, like, fundamentally the show is about the brothers. Whatever the fuck. Who cares?
Boo.
Who cares about the brothers?
No, it's not.
But like, you talk to anyone about Supernatural, and they'll know Cass, you know? They probably won't even know who the fuck Sam is. They'll definitely know what Destiel is. And
Yeah.
like, I have friends who don't know anyone, but like know about Misha Collins for some reason. Like, has never heard about Supernatural. But when Misha Collins came out the straight, we're like, hey, text me and be like, have you seen this? And I'm like, oh, I've definitely seen this. Well, yeah, that was fascinating. And like, I think he is the legacy of this show.
Yeah.
You know?
He is.
And it's just, I miss him.
I do as well.
And then they go to a store, they get some supplies, and they make a joke about, like,
I'm pulling up my racism tab.
yeah, like, they make a joke about how, like, they don't have an altar cloth, so they just bought a SpongeBob placemat, which I thought was funny. But, like, prior to that, they do say, like, oh, we've been pretty ghetto, or whatever. So I think Crystal is gonna pull out their tab.
Yeah, Sam is the one who says the line. He says, we've been pretty ghetto with spell work before, but this takes the cake or something. So yeah, Sam gets a racism point for that, because that's... Ew, shut up, Sam. So, you know, actually, I think... Okay, so Sam now has 3 racism points, and Dean only has 2. So, technically... Sam is beating Dean in terms of racism so far this season.
I mean, it is a contest, and he is winning.
Jesus.
But, I want to remind you and the audience yet again that in season 2, we're gonna have the title of the podcast, Bus Asian Beauties reveal.
Yes.
So, I still am quite unclear on how that really shows up.
Yeah.
We'll get to it when we get to the episode. But I do remember clearly that the episode is a bit fuzzy in terms of like what's memory and what's a retelling and what's real.
Oh,
so,
wait,
like,
Tall Tales or
oh,
whatever it's called?
Fuck off. Oh, you figured it out. That's so sad. Yeah, it is
Tall
Tall
Tales
Tales.
is so
That's like,
important. Like, literally, Dean, we don't have time for your blah, 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 blah.
yeah, and we also don't have time for your fussy Asian beauties, Dean. So, this is so sad. It's like in 2 episodes, I think, right?
Yeah. Probably? I don't know.
We're gonna have... Prepare for an entire conversation about the sexualization of Asian women and like that entire thing in that episode.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Look
You guys
forward
better
to that.
have time for that blah, 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 blah.
You literally better have time for the blah blah blah. They're like laughing around, and then as they walk, Sam turns and he sees this blinding light behind the guy who's like standing in the road, and he's like, "It's him! It's the sign!" And then like, we have to stop him. So Sam tries to go towards the guy, but Dean's like, "Well, you're not doing that. You're not going to kill him." And then Sam's like, "I'm not gonna kill him. I'm just going to stop him." And he insists that like they have to do something because he is gonna hurt someone. And at this point, they're pretty sure that he is gonna hurt someone.
Oh, in every other situation, there was an angel figurine behind the person after the light went away, but
Yeah,
there's
it's just
not
a
one
bright light.
here, right?
It's just a bright light.
Mm-hmm. Sad.
Anyway, like, the guy, like, hops into a car, and Dean's like, "Okay, come on, let's go into the car." And then Dean hops into the car, but he doesn't open Sam's door. And he tells Sam, like, "You go do the seance. I'll handle this. Go, 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 go." So...
Oh, also, Sam specifically says, "Dean, unlock my door, not unlock the door, unlock my door." So, like, he views himself as a passenger seat boy now, and that's sad. Sam should drive.
That is literally sad. Do you think Sam wants to drive?
Yeah, remember at the end of, what was it, the second episode? Like, sure, whatever, but I'm driving.
Yeah, that's true, but I think Dean is too much of a control freak to be like, "Okay, you'll drive." And like, I mean, every single time that Sam has driven in the past, it's like a whole ordeal, you know? Like, it's irrelevant to the plot. It's exactly like that time in like Haunted when like Dean let him take the lead in the hunt, and it's pretty much only because they have to do something with Sam that episode, which is get him with Sarah. And it's like, Sam only gets to do these things if like it serves the plot in any way, but otherwise it is Dean's job. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. Ugh. And we'd never see Sam get to play any of his music when he's driving, right? Except for, wait, there is an episode where he, like, listens to hair rock or something on the car, right?
When?
I don't know, like late, like season 8-esque or something.
Ah, no, that's actually, it's the one where he's like, "I'm actually listening to a podcast."
Oh, right,
then,
like on like Protestant history and the blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and then he takes out the earphones and it's fucking hair rock. Good for him.
Okay, yeah, so Sam, we never get to see Sam drive and pick the music.
Play his music, no.
Yeah.
He had like, a jack for a while.
Oh yeah, he installed an iPod jack while Dean was dead,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So that's iconic.
It is.
Dean drives off towards the guy, and Sam rushes into the catacombs, whatever that place is.
Yeah. And I appreciate that they let Sam do the case part of this episode, because usually usually it's Dean does the case and Sam gets locked in a bank vault.
Yeah, but this time, like,
Yeah, I'd say the more high drama situation
Yeah,
is the
exactly.
other one. Sam starts setting up the seance. He's got candles. He's got the placemat.
With
yeah. The transcript
like,
says
I looked at
SpongeBob
this
side
placemat. Yeah, like they literally the SpongeBob side is down.
Yeah. And also, like, he has John's journal out, which
Yeah,
have we not
he's reading from it.
seen it for a while?
Interesting. I think because the last two what's that, cases, I guess, were
Oh, yeah, creatures we'd seen before.
yeah.
Yeah, so they don't need to pull it out. Alright. So, he starts reciting, like, Latin. And he, like, sprinkles something on, like, the big candle, and it flares up, and it's a cool shot. But then Father Reynolds enters, and he goes, like, the fuck are you doing? What is this? And Sam is so funny. He goes, Father, please, I can explain. Actually, maybe I can't.
Exactly. Go, Sam.
He's so important to me. There's a scene later on where he, like, tries to check if people are demons by, like, shooting them with a water gun. And then he goes, like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Sorry. And then he puts the gun down, and then he's like, wait, and then he empties out the chamber of the gun into his hand, and then he, like, heads out. Yeah, anyway, same energy. I love this man. So Father Reynolds goes like, seance, young man, you are in the house of God. And Sam, so funny, goes, it's based on early Christian rites, if that helps any. And, like, the priest doesn't really want to take this shit anymore, so he tries to drag Sam out of the room, but then there's a glow behind them. And Sam looks heartbroken.
Aww. Yeah.
I don't know, for like a few minutes he thought that maybe his life didn't have to be terrible, and now it's bad again.
And now it's terrible again.
Yeah. So Father Reynolds is like, oh my god, is that an angel? Oh yeah, did you have anything else?
No, it's just, I'm thinking about, like, season 11, where, like, the next time he believes that God is talking to him.
Yeah.
And it's fucking Lucifer. It's like,
it's fucking Mark P.
Not only is it Lucifer, it's Mark Pellegrino, which is worse. Which is a worse thing than having Lucifer talk to you. It's having Mark Pellegrino's face right in front of you.
Right. You saw that Twitter poll that was like, would you rather meet the character or the actor? And it has a bunch of supernatural actors.
I literally would rather meet Lucifer than Mark P.
Yeah, for like everyone else it was like fairly evenly split, and then for Mark P, like everyone would rather meet Lucifer.
Literally, I would rather meet Satan himself than meet the other Satan. The real Satan.
Yeah, they cast him well. So Father Reynolds goes like, OMG, is that an angel? And Sam goes like, no, it's not. It's just Father Gregory. And we see this like beautiful glowing light like collapse in on itself into the whitest man in the world. He looks like such a chump.
I literally went. The transcript describes it as the bright glow dims and coalesces to reveal a young, handsome man. And I just want to inform you, like when this priest was revealed, I was like, oh, he's a dilf.
No.
So, yeah, that's now we are down bad.
I am not down bad. I think he looks like a chump.
I was using the royal we.
I
was using the royal we.
Yeah.
and we are down bad. So me and the Philippines, I guess. The entire country.
Yeah.
No.
Do you think priest kinks are, like, more widespread in areas with Catholicism? Definitely, right?
I would say no.
No. Okay.
No.
Because, like, that's that guy that you confess your sins to, so, like, he's not hot to you anymore.
They're just not attractive.
Fair.
They're just not attractive. Like, I don't think, like, anyone has ever looked at a priest here and be like, I'm attracted to this priest. I think that's untrue. But, you know, like...
Are there just not many young priests around?
Maybe so. Maybe there's just not many young priests in my area. You know what I've seen is... Because, this is revealing something about me.
Okay.
And I think this is making me a little bit doxable, but who cares? I mean, it's making me a slightly doxable, but I do study in a university where, like, it's Catholic, right?
Yeah.
So we have brothers,
Okay.
like, in the general area. And, like, one time, like, they did, like, a house tour in a way.
Uh-huh.
And, like, literally, like, every single person in, like, the group chat was like, man, these brothers are so fucking handsome. And it's because, like, they're younger than priests,
yeah,
you know, and they're chilling. I remember it was a Zoom call situation, right?
Uh-huh.
And they're doing, like, a house tour in the Zoom.
Yeah.
And, like, one of the students asked, like, brother, have you watched
Fleabag?
Have you watched no that's so no have you watched Good Omens? I think that has, like, religious aspects. I think you like it. And the brothers were like, oh yeah, we've watched that. Yeah. And I literally was, like, trying to stop myself from asking, like, brothers, have you watched Supernatural? So
God bless. Yeah.
God bless. But, like, I don't even know how I would react if I knew that, like, the brothers in my school
What?
have watched what would I do in that situation?
Drop
Literally,
out.
What would I do? I would drop out. I would fly to another island and I'll live there. Yeah.
Yeah, so this priest shows up. It's a controversial opinion whether or not he's hot. He's not.
Yeah.
Right, and, like, he goes, I've come in answer to your prayers. Like, he tells Sam, like, what are you doing here? I thought I sent you on your path. You should hurry. And Sam goes, like, I'm sorry, Father, but you're not an angel. And he says, of course I am. And Sam says, no, you're a man. You're a spirit, and you need to rest. And Cousin Greg says, I was a man, but now I'm an angel. Yeah, he says that after he was killed, he didn't feel any pain. He could see everything. And he saw Father Reynolds praying and crying and throwing up. And that he came to help him. Meanwhile, Dean loses sight of the guy in the car during the chase.
The conversation pivots between Sam and Father Gregory to Father Gregory and Father Reynolds. And, like, this is the point when Father Reynolds is like, oh, so the murders, like, you have caused those? And Father Gregory says, like, it's God's will, like, you know, what Sam said earlier. And the other father, like, says, like, this is not God's will. Thou shalt not kill. Father Gregory says, those innocent people are being offered a redemption.
Mm-hmm.
Some people need redemption.
Don't they,
Sam?
Sam? Ah!
And then Father Reynolds say, like, how can you even call, like, killing? How can you even call driving innocent people to kill redemption? Father Gregory says, like, the rules of man and the rules of God are two very different things. And Sam interjects saying that, like, the people that you have asked to kill others are now locked up. And Father says, like, doesn't matter. They're, like, happy. They've found peace. And I've given them the keys to heaven. Father Reynolds says, like, this is vengeance. This is wrong. Blah, blah, blah. You're not an angel. Men cannot be angels. And then Father Gregory reveals the why he was here, which is that Father Reynolds prayed for him. Like, Father Reynolds says, like, no, I did not pray for you. I prayed for God. So, I mean, later on in Supernatural, they do turn humans into angels. So.
Yeah, Jack does it, right?
I mean, how does that even work? I mean, like, yeah, like, how does that work, like, morally? Do they change as people?
Right, I don't
like,
know.
Is there, like, are they suddenly imparted, like, knowledge and wisdom and whatever the fuck?
Probably, because, you know, like, the like, names of all the prophets are inscribed in the angels' minds or whatever, so they have that knowledge.
Yeah. And only that. Yeah.
Just that.
They cannot speak any other languages, but they know, like, a couple names.
Okay, why didn't Jack turn Sam into an angel? I feel like that would have fixed Sam's problems and given him many new problems as well.
You know, this is what I'm curious about. When Jack turns those people into angels, do they have wings now? Or have they also fallen and not have wings anymore?
I think because they're fresh, they should have wings. 'Cause, like,
so why
yeah.
can't he just revamp the existing ones?
Huh.
Man,
Well,
we should
some of them
discuss
are
this when
dead,
we get
right?
to season 14.
Okay,
We
yeah.
need to discuss this when we get to season 14, but we need to drop it right now.
Okay.
At some point during this car chase, like, the guy picks up a girl and they drive off. And, like, the guy, like, stops in an alley and then he tries to kiss the girl and the girl's like, no, we're going to the movies. We're not kissing here. And then he slaps her. And she's obviously very terrified. He brings out the box cutter and she tries to fight him, etc., etc. When the driver's seat window smashes open and Dean comes in and, like, knocks the guy out, goes to the other side, takes the girl out, and then asks her repeatedly, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? And
yeah, but he's like yelling at this poor, terrified woman.
Like, okay. You're asking this woman who just got assaulted, like, are you okay? And she's obviously not okay. Like, you look at her, and you don't need to ask the question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what he's asking here, I guess, is like, have you been hurt physically?
Yeah, like,
is that
did
what
the
he's
box cutter
asking?
get you?
Yeah. So, I don't fucking know. Like, he's asking, like, are you okay? Whatever. And she says yes. And then like, the car runs off. And he's like, oh, damn it. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you here on the side of the road in the middle of the night after you just got assaulted. But do call 911. And then he drives off.
Yep.
Maybe we should add misogyny point just for this.
Sure, I mean, I'm always a fan of giving Dean more points.
Nah.
Yeah, I
That
don't
was
think
a
it's
joke,
fair
but-
to give him a point for that, but that was not well
But
thought
I'm
out.
willing to do it. Literally, I'm willing to do it. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a shitty thing to do, Dean.
Yeah.
So-
Also, I don't... Why was he even chasing after this guy? Like, this woman knows his name and, like, probably, right, because they were gonna be on a date, so, like, he could be tracked down fairly easily, right?
Yeah, like, at this point, you have already stopped the bad thing that he is supposed to do.
Right.
So, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he seems very intent on following through with this guy, so
Yeah.
he does.
Right. I quite liked the acting choices with this guy, because, like he slaps her, then he's like, I'm sorry, but then he, like, locks her
Yeah.
in and threatens her, and, like, when she tries to, like, escape, he's like, I said I'm sorry, like, stop it, why are you, like, being so unreasonable right now? And I feel like I don't know. I feel like it was very
Yeah.
clear during this scene that like a woman wrote it, I guess, is what I mean. Like this is
Yeah.
the vibe of like certain subsets of like really, really awful rapist guys.
Yeah.
Back at the crypt, Sam is telling Father Gregory, like, let us help you, let us put you at rest. And then Father Reynolds says that too, and Father Gregory finally agrees. So, like, Father Reynolds starts saying last rites stuff. I don't know how this works, but yeah, he says it. Father Gregory kneels. And then he starts flickering like a video game glitch, which I don't think that was the correct like visual for like this moment, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause the rest of it is very like ooh, like light, like it's all holy and nice, and then he glitches.
Yeah.
And then Father Reynolds says, I call upon the Archangel Raphael, Master of the Air, to make open the way. And, I think I just wrote down, wouldn't it be nice if Supernatural had Raphael be good and cool when they actually show up? I mean, they're cool. They're very cool. But, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, Supernatural does Raphael quite dirty, from what I recall.
Yeah, in comparison to like literally the other archangels. Like,
Yeah.
like it's 4 of them, but it's so obvious that he is like the one that Supernatural was like, I mean, who cares? You know? And
Yeah.
it's like, I care.
Yeah.
I care.
I care.
They're brothers.
Yeah.
They're siblings.
Yeah,
So-
he's literally master of the air, and he's supposed to make open the way. Ugh.
I don't think like the Archangel Raphael, Master of the Air, is called upon when you do the last rites.
Yeah, that seems like an add-in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's weird that this works, right? Like, they didn't have to burn any bones.
Yeah, like at this point I was like, why don't they just have like a priest tag along and bless everyone? You know what I mean? Like
No, actually,
every time
my
they're like,
thought was that Sam should get ordained online.
Sam literally should have entered the seminary and went through the process of priesthood.
Yeah. Again,
He
it would
literally
have
should
fixed
have.
him, and it would have created new problems for him. And I mean, that's the
Yeah.
sort of like compelling narrative I like to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I think about it often. Like, what if what if Dean like showed up not in Stanford but like
Yeah.
in a seminary because Sam entered this seminary and
That would be so fun.
Yeah, but of course they need to fridge a woman, so it's not gonna
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, instead of fridging Sam's faith or whatever.
They fridge his boy bestie in the seminary.
Yes! Yes. Love that. I feel like his boy
Literally.
bestie should die in like a blood ritual, you know? Like it's gory. Right, back to the so okay, eventually like Father Gregory glows and disappears, and then we're back to the car chase. Dean's going after this guy. They're not on the road, they are on grass, they are on trees, etc., etc. And and at one point they like the guy in the front narrowly misses getting hit by a truck. And I was so upset that they didn't show Dean flinching at this. Like, I think that Sam and Dean should both have some trauma related to, like, trucks crashing into cars because of John's
That's
death.
true.
Like, Dean should have, his lip should have wobbled. Okay, so eventually, there's, like, this smaller truck that's carrying a bunch of metal pipes, that Dean didn't clean. And they, so, like, it swerves, and a pipe just, like, falls off of the rack, and then it flies in the air, it goes through the window shield of this guy's car, and then it impales him directly in the heart. Hot.
Hot. Also, a genuine fear that I do have
Because of
whenever I'm in a
Supernatural?
car. I don't think it's because of Supernatural. I think it's because back when I was younger, I saw this movie. It's Filipino. It's called tuhog, which means like tuhog is like when you're eating like fish ball or like
Yeah.
like those kinds of foods that you fry. Like you get it with a stick, and when you do that, it's called tuhog.
Okay.
And like the plot of the movie is like there's three people and they got tuhogged with
Oh my
a
God.
pipe.
Yeah.
And it's like the three of them, and it's like they only have like a few operation rooms, whatever. It's like stupid as fuck. But like the whole point is like who deserves to live, who deserves to die. Is
Yeah.
it this senior citizen? Is it this like miserable woman? Is it this young kid? You know, like who deserves life?
Yeah.
That's the point of the movie. And like ever since then I've been like, whenever there's a fight, I'm like, well, I hope I don't get impaled. There's also like one time where I was scrolling through Twitter,
Yes.
and then there was this picture of a man who was driving I think like a truck behind another truck.
Yes.
And the truck in front had beams, sorry, gore warning.
God.
Have beams like in front, and he braked, and then like the guy
God.
behind him
Yeah.
wasn't able to, and his face got
Oh,
smashed
jeez.
by the beams. So like
Yeah.
I there's a lot of sources of this fear,
Yes.
but maybe it can also be pinpointed to Supernatural, because a lot of my life can be pointed back to Supernatural.
Yep. Sure can.
Yeah, sure
Yeah.
is.
So Dean gets out of the car. He sees this whole death thing. It looks so cool because he is stabbed through the heart, and like it's like just like it's like such a straight beam that's like sticking out of his chest. It's great, and yeah, like you said, Dean looks at this and he goes, "Holy!" And then the scene cuts.
Literally, holy. Love that they what would the like he could have said holy crap, right?
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
very much on purpose, and it's fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, back
Dean is partly responsible for this man's death, though, right? Because of the car chase situation, which is great. He's like,
I mean,
Sam,
I guess
I'm not
so.
gonna let you kill this guy, but I will do things that will end up with him being killed. Good for him.
Yeah. Good for him. So so Dean enters the motel room and Sam is already there. And a part of me literally, like, when this happened, I was like, is he gonna ask for quarters? I think it
No,
would
you
have
should
been
have
funny,
handed
but
Sam a quarter. Like, you look sad here.
yeah, like the episode should have ended with Dean being like, well, I think I may be having a fate crisis, and also you might be having a fate crisis, but your fate crisis feels more intense. So
Yeah.
here's my quarter and a fucking magic those fingers, baby.
Yeah, and we just see
So-
Sam lying on the bed looking miserable and like crying.
Yeah. Forlorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sam says like, you were right, it wasn't an angel, it's Gregory. And then he says that at this point, like, Dean pulls out the flask and Sam actually drinks from it. This is what I was saying earlier, that like they also do music here.
Yes.
So it's Bob Dylan's Knocking on Heaven's Door.
I can't believe they couldn't afford Zepp, but they can afford playing Pulitzer
Dylan.
Prize winner Bob Dylan.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think Zeppelin is like insanely expensive. Like, they're popular for being insanely expensive.
Oh, like they're
ABBA,
known
ABBA
for it.
levels.
Okay.
Yeah, like, yeah. Anyway,
Sam says like, I wanted to believe so badly. It's so hard to do this, what we do. You're all alone, and there's so much evil out there in the world. I feel like I could drown in it. And when I think about my destiny, and when I think about how I could end up, and Dean interjects and says, well, you're not alone. You don't have to worry. I'm watching you. And Sam says, yeah, I know, but you're just one person. And I wish, like, there was something else, something bigger. Maybe, like, if there was a higher power, I could be saved. And then he collects himself. I like, at this point, he's like, eyes are tearing up, and then he collects himself and says, like, we gotta do what we gotta do. We work with what we know. We work with what we see. What's right there in front of us. And then Dean says, like, it's funny you say that because, the car guy, he's dead. And Sam literally goes, did you? And Dean's like, no.
Dang him.
He says, like, the way he died, if I haven't seen it with my own two eyes, I would have thought it was a higher power doing it. Sam, like, asks, like, what did you see? And Dean says, I don't know, maybe I saw God's will.
Dun dun dun. End episode. Yeah.
So, Crystal.
Yes. Oh wait, did we want to discuss the last conversation?
Okay, we should discuss this. Yeah.
Yeah. I love Sam saying, like, there's so much evil out there in the world, Dean. I feel like I could drown in it. Because it's very similar to what he says in Faith, which was also written by Sarah Gamble, which is like, but if you know evil's out there, how can you not believe good's out there too? Like, I feel like Sam just believes in fairness. Like, that's like one of his core things. Like, I think that's why he was always the one speaking up about John's treatment of them. I think that's why he wanted to be a lawyer. I think he, like, believes in some kind of justice in the universe, and he really wants it to be the case. Yeah. And, oh god, yeah. He's such a sad little boy. He's thinking about his destiny and how he could end up. Ugh.
Anyway, like, Crystal,
Yes.
what did you think about this entire episode?
It was good. I enjoyed it. Yeah. Kissing
I
it
did
on the
enjoy
mouth, etc.
Yeah, like, I've been having, like, a lot of trouble with anxiety lately. And when I was watching this episode, I was like, is this normal anxiety? Like, the usual anxiety that I experience from day to day right now? Or is this because of the episode? Like, is this episode causing me mental illness levels anxiety? And the answer may very well be yes. So, that's fun. Honestly, why else would you watch Supernatural, you know? And it has that, like, excitement feeling. It's compelling. It's meaningful. Like, the things that they're saying, it's meaningful. And, you know, like I said, a lot of us come to Supernatural and flock around this show for different reasons. And for me, it is because of, like, the way it portrays faith and fate, like, both fates, Faith and Fate. Like, those are the point of the show for me. So, this episode being so pivotal in that journey of the show, you know, in that plot line of the show, I enjoyed it tremendously.
Yeah. Big agree.
They did great. So, best line, worst line. I'll start with my best line, which is what I said earlier. I need to see some hard proof you got any. I just really like that line. And I've listened to it so many fucking times. You know what I mean? Like, when the music was swelling in that part, I was like, oh, it's going. And then, like, the line hit. And I was like, I literally have those music beats memorized. because I've listened to it so much.
Yeah. My best line is, after Dean asks, like, I mean, what's next? Are you going to start praying every day? Where Sam says, I do pray every day. I have for a long time. Because, oh god, it is such a fucking reveal, right? Because that's like every single day for a long time. Like, that
Every single day is insane.
That recasts everything we've watched, right? Like, this whole time throughout all of the episodes we've watched, Sam has been praying every day for a long time. Like, oh, it's just such a good reveal, and I think it's, like, the main thing I think about when I think about Sam and religion, and just,
Yeah. It's something. It's very good. And, yeah, like, I mean, who even prays every day? Sam, you are truly, like, you should be a priest. I feel like you literally should have entered the seminary if you're gonna pray every day anyway. Yeah, so worst line.
Probably just one of the times Dean says crazy hooker as a phrase.
I don't know what my worst line would be. I didn't really have a line in this
The ghetto
episode that
line
like
hasn't
jumped
been
at me.
taken yet.
Oh yeah, sure, I'll take that. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. IMDb rating.
High, right? Like, it better be.
It definitely
Yeah.
should be high.
The thing is, Night Shifter was an 8.9, and I think this is so much better. So, like, I, like, really want to, like, go crazy with, like, a 9.3 or something, but I don't think Supernatural gets much higher than a 9.2. So, yeah. So I might just, I'll say 9.1.
Okay, I'll go higher and I'll say 9.2.
Okay.
The holy Supernatural. Okay, let's look it up, baby. Oh god,
No.
I'm so fucking miserable.
Wait, is it low?
You wanna guess again?
8.7?
You're gonna riot with this score. It's a 7.9.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What? Is it because people were angry about the religion thing? What?
I'm looking through
What are
the
people
things
mad
and
about?
all of them are like 8/10 or 10/10. So I
Okay,
don't
so the
see...
people who rated it low have not written in.
Yeah.
So we don't even know why. I feel like it was probably like, like when a group of people gets mad about a thing and they sort of just like have everyone go to IMDb and rate it low. So like there has to be like someone somewhere has to have found an issue with part of this episode and like called on a bunch of people to come over and rate it low without writing a review. Okay, so yeah, I guess we don't know what it would actually be without whatever that group of people did. But like there's no way, like there had to be like a very strong internet campaign to get like this very popular, good and considered good by the fan base episode this low.
Sorry, I have not paid attention in like the past 2 minutes.
No, you're good.
'Cause I've just been in shock.
Yeah.
Why is it so low? I have this one review actually like thus the whole thing where it's like, why did they have to kill the priest? The priest wasn't really doing anything
What?
wrong other than he's sending people to kill other people. Like if he was just killing like bad people, like it would be fine.
Oh.
That's the argument.
Okay.
It's just one review though.
Okay.
So
yeah. Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess I can see people taking issue with just the portrayal of religion and morality in this episode. But I mean, they're watching Supernatural, like, you're gonna see God play the guitar badly in a few years.
I don't even know what to fucking
I don't
say.
even
Like,
know what to
I'm
say,
reading
yeah.
these reviews and I have no idea what to say.
Yeah.
Why do not more people leave reviews?
Yeah, no, I feel like there's, like, very few written reviews on this one, which is weird because this is an episode that people really like, that they talk about a lot.
Yeah, this is a beloved episode. Whatever, who cares? Who cares? When
Who
have you
cares?
ever agreed with the fucking general public?
Yeah. And also, like, I'm pretty sure the 7.9 isn't the general public. I think it was, like, a specific group of people, like, rating it 1 star because of, like, an issue they had. Well, let me look at the
I
breakdown.
just wish they left reviews. Like, I wish.
Yeah,
they
no,
told
because,
us
see,
why.
okay, it looks like...
It's good to have perspective.
It looks like 31.8% of people rated it 10 stars, and then 6.6% of people rated it 1 star. We have a lot of, like, 8 stars, 23.1% of people, and then, like, about 14% of people between 9 and 7. So, yeah, it's still, most people are rating it 10 stars. It's, like, I feel like the 1 star people are bringing it down, and then some of the 7 star people are bringing it down.
Why the 1 star? Why this episode? Because of the religious aspects?
I don't know.
That feels weird for, like, Supernatural.
Yeah, it feels weird for Supernatural. I mean, maybe there's something that we're missing that, like, makes this episode not very good, but, like, whoever didn't like it didn't leave a review about it, so I don't know.
Okay, here's the deal.
Okay.
If you, listener, don't agree with what we have said about the episode, and you think this episode is bad, tell us.
Yes.
Because, like, that's the only way we'll know. Because, like, I don't see a problem with the episode. I mean, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see why it warrants 7.9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, if you think it does,
I'm looking
tell
at the
us.
demographic rating breakdown.
Yeah,
And,
I am too.
yeah.
And, yeah.
It's interesting. I wonder if this pattern, if this, like, gender gap pattern is the case for every episode. Or, like...
Yeah, like, women rate things higher?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's look at Night Shifter and see if there's a gender gap in the...
Can you believe Night Shifter
got a whole 1 star higher than this one?
What does even happen in Night Shifter? Dean goes, Ron, I'm so sorry for letting you die.
You were my best friend and I just let you go.
Yeah. Literally, he was his best friend.
Okay, no, interesting. In Night Shifter, it's very similar between genders.
Yeah.
And men are rating it slightly higher. The younger men are rating it slightly higher, and then older women are rating it higher than men in that age group. Yeah, so I don't it's weird that there's this gender gap in Houses of the Holy. Like, I don't know, it just makes me think that, like, one YouTuber or person with a lot of Twitter followers who is a man and whose Twitter followers are men, like, just told everyone to go rate it low or something, you know?
Man, I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Well, I do care if you're a listener of the podcast and you tell us what you think.
Yeah.
But
And we
I
will,
don't care about
listen.
any of these
like,
people.
we will, our ears are open. We will not.
No, we
be
will
mean
for
to
real
you.
listen.
Yeah,
like, this
we
is
won't
not
be
being
mean to you about it
sarcastic.
Or anything.
We have never been mean to anyone who has sent us an ask or a message or anything, except for that one person.
I accidentally looked at the next IMDb thing, because...
Oh, no.
Yeah, because for some reason I wasn't thinking. I was like, let's see if the next episode has a gender, like, breakdown thing. And then I was like, wait, I'm not supposed to see this. So, okay, you're the only one who can guess next week.
Yeah. No, but, like, the only person we have lambasted in, like, a message is that person that was like, I listened to your trailer and it sounds so horrible. Like, you guys are so mean, and like, you complain that Supernatural is misogynistic and homophobic, then why the hell would I listen as a fan? And it's like, then don't. What do you want from us?
Yeah.
So, love that.
Love that.
Do you think they continued listening?
Definitely not.
Literally,
We're really
they're
mean.
gonna have such a miserable time. Yeah, we are so mean. Yeah, let's fucking end this shit,
Yeah,
bro.
oh my god. I knew this was
It
gonna be a
has
long
been
recording
so
because it's Houses of the Holy, but still.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for this episode of Best Asian Beauties. Next week, we will be discussing Season 2, Episode 14, Born Under a Bad Sign. Leave us a rating or review wherever you get your podcasts.
Follow us on social media. We are on Twitter at twitter.com/beautiespodcast and on Tumblr at bestasianbeautiespod.tumblr.com. Our official tag is BABPOD, BABPOD, and thank you to everyone who's donated to our Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/BustyAsianBeautiesPod. Also, sorry about last week's bonus content.
Yeah, like, we are planning a more frequent bonus content thing over on Ko-fi. So, if you're interested in that, it's like, outtakes, it's like extra around 20 to 30 minutes of just us talking. If you're interested in that, do join us. Who
Yes.
knows? Maybe you'll enjoy it.
Maybe.
Maybe you will. If what do I say after this?
You can email us.
If you have any feedback, comments, or inquiries, you can email us at busstatianbeautiespod@gmail.com. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.